All right, it's great to be back for another edition of the Loaded Radio podcast this week. And hey, my name is Scott Penfold. And on the show this week, I'm going to be talking with the one and only Lord Ahriman, guitar player and original member for black metal titans Dark Funeral. Lord Ahriman, real name Mikael Svanberg, formed Dark Funeral back in 1993. And despite numerous personnel changes, has remained the only original member of the band. And they've got the new album, We Are the Apocalypse, which is their 7th studio album. It's out now. As well, the band have a live stream coming up, so we'll be talking about that. And as well in the podcast, we'll be joined by Loaded Radio's own Johnny Rude in the second portion of the show to discuss the week that was in hard rock and metal, and with the recent passing of Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins, that's probably going to be the big topic for discussion this week. So without wasting any more time, we're going to now speak to this man here. He is the guitar player and original member for black metal titans Dark Funeral. The new album, We Are the Apocalypse, is out now. And here's Dark Funeral guitar player, Lord Ahriman. Michael, thanks so much for joining us on the Loaded Radio podcast this week.
All right, good.
Before we get into the new album, I wanted to ask, I know over the last couple of years, of course, with the pandemic going on, what have you been keeping yourself busy with during the pandemic?
Well, finished writing the new record. That's been the main focus. Well, we start working on music for this record about 4 years ago, but when the pandemic started, which was like March, I think, 2020,
yep.
We had planned. We already from February we did the last show, so our plan was to focus on the new record, and then the pandemic hit the world, and so it didn't really, fuck anything up for us. It just worked out.
Did you miss performing live?
Yeah, it's been a strange time, when we haven't been able to do much, and we are traveling a lot all the time, mostly with the band, but also private, and going from that busy schedule when you're always on the move to like nothing.
Yeah,
it was kind of strange. Other than that, it's just been a really fucked up time, to be honest. I'm normally a really healthy guy. I'm never sick or anything, but I've been having a lot of struggle with my health over this period of time. It's feeling like it's finally, turning around and getting better and better.
The new album, I think it's fantastic. We Are the Apocalypse is it's pure, everything you would expect from Dark Funeral, and I think even more. Who produced the album?
We recorded with Daniel Bergstrand and Fredrik Torendal.
Oh, cool.
From a Sugar in his studio.
Oh, that's excellent. So how was that? How was working with him?
Great. I known Fredrik for many years. So
oh, cool.
Yeah, but it was the first time we worked together, and I realized that he's indeed a musical genius.
Oh yeah, absolutely he is.
And he's one of those few guys who have an absolute hearing when it comes to notes and stuff.
Nice.
You don't meet many of those, at least not me. So whenever you do that, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's another league.
Yeah, well, some of the songs that stand out for me in particular, the song Nightfall, I think, is just so fucking awesome, man. What can you tell me about Nightfall?
Well, when I approached writing that song was, for every record I try to push the speed limit as far as humanly possible.
Sure.
And I tried to, on previous record, I've been up around 300 BPM trying to find a way to make something sound good in that speed. But it is, I never managed to find a balance. If you pick up some of my normal melody structure in that speed, it just sounds stupid. And same with the riffing. But this time I managed to work more on atmospheric riff, and that worked in now it's not already up to 300 BPM, but we were up at 292. So it's pretty close.
That's pretty damn close.
Yeah, but when I came up with the idea to focus more on trying to make it more atmospheric and not so super fast melodies and riff, then I just now I think I got it. can work in this speed. And and it did. And also the chorus is a little bit different. I don't know what you call the English word, but I pick notes in a different way than I normally do. So it's a kind of new input for me as a guitarist. But it worked in this speed, and I'm glad for that, because I wanted to really have one song on this record that really pushes everything when it comes to speed.
It's brutal. It's going to sound so great live, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great live track, but also a challenge to play it. We have rehearsed it a couple of times, and it's great to play it. We can actually nail it. That's
Nice.
not the problem, but it's still a challenge, you know.
Another song that definitely stands out for me would be Let the Devil In. What can you tell me about that track?
My idea for that song was actually when we were talking about the live environment. I wanted to, we never had a song with a, cool, rhythmic drum intro or something. That's where I basically started. The main riff. I had the main riff, and so I kind of start building everything up from there. I felt like, this is, this could probably work with a tribal drum intro, and then just keep on, building up the song from there. And I wanted to get this live feeling, I mean, it's a great song on record, but I think that song is definitely gonna, at least that was my idea when I wrote it. It's gonna make it give the right identity when it's played live. So I had a more live song feeling when I wrote that song than anything else.
Yeah, and then just like Nightfall, I think it's going to sound great live. But the whole just the whole sonic experience of that tune is just going to sound. It's going to go over great over like a whole crowd.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea I had when I wrote that, to make something. Yeah, a song that stands out in a live set a little bit more.
Yeah,
and also give everything more dynamic and groove, and not only super fast blast beat songs.
Yeah.
So,
now you've got, of course, this special live stream coming up April 16th that you're going to be doing with SAMAEL. Now this is going to be very cool because people are going to get to experience you guys live again. First off, how did the live stream get set up? How did that whole idea come about?
Countries are having different rules and restrictions when it comes to live shows. So we all felt like it's still kind of difficult to go on tour, a proper tour at this point. That's why we felt like, I mean, we're coming back with a new record, which we feel is fucking awesome. And we want to, celebrate this with everybody. And since we can't really go on tour right now, we felt like the best we can do to, bring everybody in is to do a real live shows here in Stockholm, because in Sweden, we don't have any restrictions anymore. But also, give a chance to people and fans all around the world to join in. Then we talked to our booking agency, and they were like, yeah, they had worked with some other, more pop artists and stuff like that during these 2 years. With this, I guess, the most well-known streaming company here in Sweden.
Oh, cool.
So they're like, yeah, we already have a good cooperation with them, so it's easy to get them on board. Apparently, they are supposed to be one of the best we have here in the country. So, and we want to do it, as good as we can. And it's going to be live, so no pre-recorded stuff like many bands do these days. No, we just want to have it live and raw to give that feeling we all have been missing for so long.
Absolutely. With the live stream, are we going to be getting new material from We Are the Apocalypse in the set list?
Yeah. It's an album release show, so it's going to focus on the new record, but obviously we're going to play lots of old classics too. We do have a set list set already, but I mean, we still need to get the feel of it, and I'm still open for changes if we come to that point where we feel like something isn't working. So, but like always, when it comes to our live set, we always try to bring in songs from most of the records. Since we have fans from different generations and from this. So we want to give everybody, we got to, take care of our older fans and also our new fans.
Great. Now, can we expect, of course, some of the imagery that Dark Funeral is known for to be part of the live stream as well?
Yeah, of course. We have brought in lots of extra lights, shitloads of pyro.
Awesome.
So we're going full throttle.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course, there's always, limitation at venues, but this is a pretty good venue to do pyro. It's high in the ceiling. It's a big stage. The whole room, I think 1,800 people in total.
Nice.
So we already had production meeting with the pyro company and streaming company. They know me and they know I want to squeeze in as much fire as I can on the stage.
Right on, man. That's going to be great. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a Dark Funeral show without a huge, massive pyro,
Yeah, of course. And, since this is a album release show, a little bit special. So we want to do as big show as we can. But of course, you're always forced with limitation when you're not bands like Rammstein, for example. They can go fucking crazy. But I think, people used to say, I remember last time we did a tour here in Sweden, they said it was probably the first time they saw, a band on these venues using so much fire. And that's what I like to hear. And still, we had to, take down my idea,
Right.
It worked. So, but yeah.
How do you find working with this lineup of the band right now?
It's working very good. I think everybody's focused, very dedicated, and very professional. And the good thing, everybody have been around for a long time in different bands, so everybody have a lot of experience how it is touring, working with people, in bands, what works and what doesn't work. So we try to limit and just improve everything so we can have a good chemistry within the band, and so everybody keep focused and do a good job. Running a band comes with lots of responsibilities, and that's something some people forget.
Now, looking, even at the history of the band with the lineup changes that have happened, do you see the band right now as more of a vehicle for your songwriting, or is it still a group effort to a certain degree?
When it comes to the songwriting, it's mainly been me. Yeah. And Helle might take care of the lyrics. But it's been like that ever since Vobiscum Satanas. The heavy duty has been on me. Of course, I had some great guitarists with me over the years, and I guess maybe Typhus was the one who came in with more input and riffs than any other guitarist I played with over the years. But yeah, but it's like, if you want to have it done, sometimes you better do it yourself. Yeah. And I kind of have my vision. It's not like I'm closing out anybody, but I have a vision, very strong vision, I guess, and I got to follow it no matter what.
Now, is Wolf in Society still active? Is that still a band?
No, it was basically a studio effort. We talked about doing some. Yeah, well, we talked about doing maybe something more, but everybody's busy with their own bands, and I'm not sure if it's ever going to be anything more. I would like to work with. I would love to work with the guys again and do something more unique, since we all come from different. That was the one reason I wanted to participate, because everybody had the same dark foundation, but everybody came from different music genres.
That's right.
I felt like the combination between everybody could be really fucking awesome and interesting. And it was great working together. But I think maybe what happened in the final result was that much of Thomas' samplings and stuff like that, Thomas Thorn from Electric Hellfire Club, his ideas were kind of scratched. And I kind of missed that, because I really wanted to have more of his input into everything to make it more interesting. Now it kind of turned out a little bit more like a death metal record.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's why I kind of missed that all his great ideas didn't really end up, in the final mix. So yeah, if we would do something more, I definitely want to have that. It's got to be more unique, if you know what I mean. Because I'm hardly ever participate in side projects like that if it doesn't really stand out compared to what I do with Dark Funeral.
Right.
That's why I mostly say no to all the offers that I get. I mean, I'm glad people want to work with me, but for me, it doesn't make any sense to work, record some guitar for another black metal band.
Of course.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing the best black metal I can with Dark Funeral. So
yeah,
there's no point doing it for someone else. You just got to be something really different.
Well, do you like death metal personally?
Yeah, of course. I like all kinds of metal. But death metal, I always like death metal. I like extreme metal. It doesn't matter if it's black metal, death metal, thrash metal, speed metal, When I, start listening to metal, it was Black Sabbath. Black metal didn't exist at that time. So I grown up with the evolution of metal. And I still listen to those bands I grew up with. But when it comes to my music creation, I'm looking for something different.
Awesome. Mikael, I can't thank you enough for taking the time today, man. I'm really looking forward to the live stream on April 16th. It's going to be great.
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
All right, all the best. Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.
There he is. That's Lord Ahriman from Dark Funeral. And don't forget, We Are the Apocalypse. The new album is out now. If you dig black metal, then that's definitely something you're going to want to check out, as well as the live stream coming up in April with SAMAEL. But hey, I'm Scott Penfold, and we're now going to be joined by Loaded Radio's own Johnny Rude, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, to discuss the week that was in hard rock and metal. It's been a few weeks since Johnny's joined us on the podcast. So, Johnny, good to have you back, man.
What do you want to chat about?
Well, obviously, I mean, I think we should get right into the things when it comes to the passing of Taylor Hawkins. That's like the biggest thing right now. I mean, obviously it'd be stupid for me to ask if you're surprised by it. I mean, I think everybody was, right?
Well, yeah, I was totally surprised. It's really weird. I was sitting at home watching Tube, and a friend of mine out here, music guy, we banter back and forth on stuff, and he sent me this, and he said, drummer of Foo Fighters. And I go, who, Taylor Hawkins? And then he came back with a yes. And I went, bullshit. And I went to Google right away. And as soon as I hit the Google, they were struggling with the story because it just happened. And then I started digging deeper, and I had to wait a few minutes for this because TMZ, they're on things quick. It wasn't up on TMZ. So I was going, a bit of is it fake news or, but then it started coming in about 20 minutes later, and boom, it was official. They on the Google, they said, the date to 50 years old. I'm like, oh man. Because I remember that dude playing with Alanis Morissette, man. And I saw him in that. And then he played with Sass Jordan. I mean, I think it was Sass Jordan first, then Alanis Morissette. And I know the whole story. I've told people he played with Alanis. No, he didn't. No, yes, he did. And you do a little fucking research on the guy. And sure enough, oh, yeah, he did. But yes, Alanis Morissette being a Canadian artist, of course we would know. But yeah, it was definitely a shock. And then I did some other, looking this guy up, and back in 2000, 2001, he was addicted to heroin and shit like that. So who knows? My guess, he was in Bogota, Colombia. My guess is he OD'd.
Well, I think the initial talk screen, they said they found 10 different drugs in his system.
Yeah. So
I mean, I mean, like, and one of them was an opiate. They don't know, but he was complaining of chest pains to hotel staff prior to them calling, I guess, authorities. So who knows? He did suffer from anxiety, though. He was on Xanax apparently too. So who knows, man? I mean, they were in Colombia. I mean, I'm not going to jump to that conclusion, but
no,
but he has struggled with addiction before.
That's
in the
right.
past,
that's what I'm saying. Back in 2000, he struggled with heroin, and so it all roads lead to that. I mean, again, not to jump to conclusions, but let's just say that's what a lot of people are leaning on. And there was a couple people that, immediately posted oh yeah, he OD'd. It's like, well, okay, I understand that. But again, jumping to conclusions, all roads do lead to it, but who knows? He could have had a heart attack for whatever reason. Again, we don't know.
No, because no official cause has been revealed as of yet. So, I mean, of course, you're going to get people speculating, but we don't know. I mean, by the time people are listening to this, there will be an official reason. Yeah. But I mean, it's
absolutely. Yeah. But to talk about him and what he's done, it was interesting, dude. And again, being a drummer, I thought it was kind of cool. Dave Grohl being a drummer, being a frontman of a band, his sidekick was his drummer. They were best friends.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Every interview you saw, he was always with them.
Yep.
And Taylor Hawkins came out. If you look at everybody in the Foo Fighters, that's the next relatable guy was Taylor.
Yeah.
He had some side project. I saw him here. He was singing in a band. He looked like Robin Zander from Cheap Trick.
Well, he's got the thing going on with Dave Navarro and NHC featuring Taylor Hawkins, Dave Navarro, and Chris Chaney. That's right. Chris Chaney.
That's right.
From Jane's Addiction. So a couple of guys from Jane's Addiction and him had that going on. That was great. I mean, I never have heard a single negative thing about the guy. Everyone says he's just the greatest guy, friendliest guy. I mean, and also incredible musician. So,
yeah, dude. No, that's the thing. I mean, this is what sucks. It's like the cool dudes, man. What are you doing? The cool dudes go down. That sucks. And again, I'm hoping it's not what we think it is. But again, like you said, when this airs, a lot's going to be known about it. But that just sucks if that's the case, because it shouldn't happen.
No, I mean, I guess it comes into play. And I remember when I was interviewing Monkey from Korn, and him and I were talking about how musicians are one of the top 5, occupations you can have where depression and addiction is so prominent. And we were talking about, I remember when I was talking to Monkey, we were talking about the passing of Chester Bennington, and it was kind of like, that's all sort of the same thing. And when you're out there on the road and you've got, say you're struggling with a past addiction or even a current addiction, you're out there on the road, that can definitely not be an easy time, man, because it's constant. I mean, I'm not going to say loneliness, but I mean, it's just, you're constantly on the move. You're constantly in different hotel rooms every night. I can see how, I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do, but I can see how people would turn to that one thing that they've always found comfort in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here's my sort of take on it too. You're out there on the road and you're meeting people left, right, and center, and you're handed everything under the sun, dude. You're handed, and people want to be close to you. People want to party with you. People want to be with you. It's that adulation to the entertainment, to the entertainer. And that's, again, with groupies, and it goes on and on. So that's what happens. And you've got idle hands. What the hell am I going to do for 9 hours today? Oh, I'm going to get high. I'm going to drink. And one thing leads to another. And then you take a musician, a lot of musicians, not saying they're loners, but you by yourself creating a craft. So you've been sitting at home as a kid learning something. You might not necessarily be out there playing baseball or soccer or, BMXing or whatever the hell you might do. You're sitting at home, and a musician is a different animal than most people. So when you hear guys like Chester Bennington or Chris Cornell or Kurt Cobain, these are unique people. Musicians are unique people. So again, they're out there, idle hands, and you sat at home and you went through your parents' medicine cabinet when you were 9 or 10. I mean, all these things come into play.
Sure.
And even if you were an athlete, like, and hey, man, I'm a guitar player. Like, look at Zakk Wylde. I mean, that guy was a football player. That's what he wanted to do. But he was a killer guitar player. He had this natural ability. He went that route.
Yeah.
And him himself, again, it just goes with the territory. Being a musician, party like a rock star.
Zakk
right?
is a guy that struggled with booze, man. I mean,
absolutely, buddy. Look at Duff McKagan, all these dudes. But again, that party like a rock star. You get away with it when you're a rock star. If you're anybody else, man, you're under the microscope. You're allowed to do that when you're a rock star. You're allowed to do drugs.
Yeah. But again, it always catches up to you, though. You see,
it does.
It always catches up to you, and it's really sad. It really is.
It really is.
There's never a happy ending.
No, you're not 20 forever, man. I mean, That's the thing. And you think you're invincible, and you can just party and party and party, but your body ages. You might not look old, but your body is aging.
Oh, tell me about it too.
Yeah. Taylor was 50.
Essentially, just But Taylor Hawkins, I mean, I think that it's going to be something that's going to sort of sit there for a while. People are going to, I mean, a lot of people are paying tribute right now. I mean, look, artists like Joan Jett, Slash, you got Wolfgang Van Halen, like all on their shows. There's all these videos now appearing online of them paying tribute to Taylor, which is really nice. But I mean, I think it's something that's going to resonate for a while. You know, it's not one of those sort of, oh, they're gone kind of a thing. You know, it's going to resonate for a bit.
It's weird. I'm just sitting here thinking, it's like when John Bonham died, you know, with Led Zeppelin in 1980. I mean, again, a massive alcoholic. He choked on his own vomit, and, you know, that's how the story goes. But it was the end of Led Zeppelin. This is not necessarily the end of Foo Fighters, because Dave Grohl really played all the drums on the record. Right. And I think he did allow Taylor to start doing that. But what I was saying, say with John Bonham, when he died, again, it was the end of Led Zeppelin. A drummer that made the band. I mean, he was the sound of Zeppelin. You couldn't put anybody else in there but John Bonham. Same with Robert Plant. All of that. That was that special combination. With the Foo Fighters, a different animal. Taylor was a personality. Dave Grohl did play a lot of the drums. In fact, most of the drums on the albums. And they were slated. This is off topic here. Are they doing that festival, the Lollapalooza thing? Or did they
supposed to, but I mean, they haven't made any announcements about cancellations or anything yet. I mean, obviously they canceled the shows they're supposed to play the next few nights, but that's
right. And they're supposed to play the Grammys.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, I don't think.
I don't think it's going to happen either. I mean, not to put insult to injury, do you play with another drummer who can play your tunes, or do you not do the show out of respect because your friend has passed away?
Well, that's the decision, right? So
again, business is business, and you know it goes with the territory. And this is a big, huge thing for the Foo Fighters. My opinion, I don't think Dave Grohl would do it. But on the other hand, I mean, contracts are contracts, and maybe he kind of has to. We'll see how that happens. I think they will still do a tribute to him on the Grammys. Yeah, I think you will see. You know how they do the memorandum
in memoriam. Yeah, they'll definitely do one. If they don't, there's going to be a massive uproar. So
they'll do something like that. Yeah, it is too bad, dude. Again, one of these things that when you hear it, you sit down and go, why? Why did that happen? What's going on? You know, and that's a sad one for sure.
Don't forget to check out loadedradio.com for all your hard rock and metal news, plus the radio station and all of our podcasts. You can download the Loaded Radio app, which is available wherever you get your apps, and as well at loadedradio.com. For Johnny Root and everybody else at Loaded Radio, we'll talk to you again next week right here on the Loaded Radio podcast.
Loaded Radio.